The rarest 1 in a million penalty kicks in the world. Penalty kicks are like the bane of football. A match could go on for 2 hours, and penalty kicks taking within 20 minutes could be the ultimate decider. As a result, coupled with the evolution of football over the years, coaches, teams and players alike have had no choice but to focus on this aspect of the game. This video will show some of the rarest 1 in a million penalty kicks taken in football. But before we get started, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell icon to ensure you never miss any of our content. With that sorted, let's get into this. Penalty kicks are a technical aspect of football. The penalty kicker and the goalkeeper do different tricks or skills to outwit each other. The ultimate goal is for the player to lose the penalty or for the goalkeeper to dive the wrong way, irrespective of the context, and with the result of getting the ball into the net. Benzema and mind games. It does sound weird to have mind games and penalty kicks during a football match. Is it not just a football game? Is it not just about the skills and their physicality? So why involve psychology? Well, say this to the player about to take the final decision penalty in the World Cup. Well, the current Ballon d'Or holder has been at the receiving end of mind games during one of the matches in the Spanish La Liga just this last season. It was against Szczesny, and Benzema fell for the mind games of the Osasuna goalkeeper, pointing in a direction and diving to the other side. He directed Benzema on where to play his penalty, and Big Benz fell for it. However, that week Benzema in the Champions League would go for a cheeky panenka under the lights on Champions League night, while being dubbed the coolest man in European football. Talk about audacity. Cristiano Ronaldo's pure magic against Paris Saint-Germain. There are normal players, but when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo, that Portuguese football maestro, nothing is as ever as it seems. The more you look at clips of that particular goal, the more bewildered you become. It has never been done before, an insane floating ball penalty. It was a cracker with PSG in the Champions League, and with Ronaldo's club at the time, Madrid, being the current title holders. Everyone was already betting on them to go all the way and clinch the title again. But no one envisaged Ronaldo scoring a floating ball penalty in the crucial minutes of the game. Just before halftime, CR7, as he is fondly called, stepped up, and as he took the kick, slowed footage showed that the ball bounced a little, allowing Ronaldo to hit it superbly, using the knuckleball technique to place the ball above the reach of the goalkeeper. He has scored penalty kicks in the past, but this particular one truly belongs in the archives of history. Andrej Kramaric's no-look penalty against Borussia Dortmund. Roberto Firmino, Ronaldinho, and many players in world football are famous for doing no-look passes. They all have Brazilian roots, and we can all agree this comes with Samba football. But what do you say when Andrej Kramaric dispatches penalty kicks with reckless abandon straight into the net without looking at the goalkeeper? It is just stuff of dreams, the confidence, the poise, and just a mind to play such an audacious penalty while battling one of the biggest sides in the Bundesliga. It definitely makes our list of 1 in a million penalties in world football. Andrea Pirlo is one of the best midfielders the football game has ever seen. His technical ability and his passing range are second to none. With his stints in Juventus, Milan, and America, the man easily sprayed passes across the field. Now tell us why he could not pull off the bravest penalty panenka the world has ever seen. On the other hand, Joe Hart was one of the best shot stoppers in the world at the time. Now remember, we told you how penalty kicks have become crucial to the game and how goalkeepers and players strive their best to unnerve each other to achieve their objective. We certainly do not think Joe Hart was out of the line here trying to unnerve Andrea Pirlo when they faced the penalty shootout in the Euros 2012. But Pirlo did what he does best. He got the best part by going for the panenka, one of the best we have seen, especially during a penalty shootout up to that time. Joe Hart had to keep it in his head and stop messing around. We are sure he got the loud and clear message after that. Portuguese goalkeeper Ricardo saving a penalty with no gloves. Well, not only the players do the research in goalkeepers, the goalkeepers, as expected, study the playing patterns of the players. Man is an animal of habit. We rarely depart from our already set patterns. However, in one of the I am him moments in world football, and in the Euros 2004, Portuguese goalkeeper Ricardo boldly removed his gloves and decided to go with his guts. That move alone was one of the most unnerving moments of the player who was to take the penalty kick at the time. Ricardo dived correctly, saved the kick from Darius Vessel at the time, and ultimately saved the day, taking Portugal to the next round of the competition that year. Szczesny's bet with Lionel Messi. The World Cup is not the best place to make a bet, and not with anyone other than one of the best players in world football, Lionel Messi, especially about whether he scores a penalty kick. During this last World Cup, the Poland goalkeeper Szczesny fouled Messi in one of the boldest moves ever, and Argentina was subsequently awarded a penalty. Now, in retrospect, Szczesny said he was grateful for the opportunity to show off. He recounts that he made £100 bet with Messi if the penalty would be given. The penalty was given, making him lose the bet against Messi, but he took it a notch higher when he went on to save the resulting penalty kick from nobody other than, you guessed it right, Lionel Messi. It's their turf, and it's the best if you do not dare a determined goalkeeper in football. Have you been enjoying your content so far? Check out all the others we have for you. Click on the subscribe button and let's be on the way real quick. Manuel Neuer saving 3 penalty kicks in a row. It was during the Jose Mourinho era at Real Madrid. To be candid, Mourinho was just instilling the champions mentality into the boys then, and Madrid had previously needed to do better in European competitions. Well, talking about one of the most historic nights ever, Manuel Neuer, the #1 shot stopper in the world at the time, a steady member of the Bayern Munich team and the German national team, was in goal. The match got to the extra line and onward to penalties. While the Bayern Munich team banged in the goals, Real Madrid players bitterly lost theirs. Cristiano Ronaldo, Kaká, and Sergio Ramos all missed their penalties in the worst way possible. Neuer guessed it right with Ronaldo and Kaká because they chose to play theirs to the same side while Ramos blazed over the ball. This was the end of their Champions League campaign that season. Substitute giving away a penalty. What we are used to in football is for players to commit a foul or handle the ball in the penalty box for a penalty to be awarded. But a substitute causing a penalty while not on the field of play was one of the most outrageous incidents ever in the history of the Bundesliga second division. Bochum had the momentum at this particular point in the match, especially having just considered a goal. And Bochum's Bussi missed a shot on goal, only for a Kiel substitute to accidentally touch the ball just on the line before they went on a play. Imagine just tapping the ball to make it easy to get into play again, only for the referee to blow against you. One of the relatively unknown rules of football is that a substitute player cannot touch the ball when it's not out of play. Kiel's midfielder accidentally handed it just on the line, and he was made to pay for it. David De Gea checking opponent's penalty playing list. It is common for players and goalkeepers alike to always try to put off their opponents. From Noper trying to put off Messi on international duty, to a goalkeeper in the Bundesliga 4th division saving 4 penalties during a shootout. But one thing that comes off as absurd is David De Gea checking Brighton's penalty playing list during the shootout at the FA Cup semi-final tie just last season in the Premier League. At the same time he was checking this list, his teammate Wout Weghorst was trying to put off Jesse Marsch as he was about to take his penalty. By a stroke of luck, their games worked, and Marsch skied his penalty to give Manchester United the advantage of getting into the FA Cup final last season. That was quite weird, wasn't it? Noble subbed on to take a penalty. There are so many rules in football that you may be aware of. There is no control over how coaches decide to use their substitution slots, and players can also cheekily tell their goalkeepers the way to dive when the team concedes a penalty during the match. Manchester United have been at the receiving end of some bizarre penalty calls. But one that comes to mind was last season in the Premier League when the team conceded a penalty from Shaw, mistakenly handling the ball in the box while trying to prevent an opponent's cross. The match was against West Ham, and Mark Noble was a designated penalty taker for the team. He has a good record of taking the best penalties, and everyone was certain he would score. He was subbed on shortly after the penalty call was given, only for David De Gea to guess correctly and save it. He has not missed recently before that, and it's been months since De Gea saved the penalty himself, so the odds were pretty easy. Well, you can only predict some things. At that moment, he guessed right and saved his team. Fantastic, if we must say. Zidane scored a cool panenka at the World Cup and Messi tying his shoelaces. Imagine how much confidence you must have in your teammates to tie your cleats laces while he was about to take a penalty. Well, it is Lionel Messi and anything is possible with him. In one of the matches played by this Messi, Suarez and Neymar trio, while they teared up the Spanish La Liga during their time there, Suarez was about to take a penalty against Espina and Messi was not even looking. He was tying his cleats laces as Suarez confidently scored. Or was it Zinedine Zidane, one of the best midfielders scoring a cheeky panenka in one of the biggest matches that had some of the top stars in the world of football at the time? The man was really in his element. He scored the panenka against Buffon as he dived the wrong way and the ball bounced into the net. Arturo Vidal's perfect penalty and Pogba's long jog to score. In reality, Arturo Vidal is one of the villains of the footballing world. This is with his fiery tackles, unreal strength, and passion whenever he is in the field of play. We do not know if the perfect penalty exists, but Vidal gave us something close to it. He masterfully dispatched his penalty into the top right corner of the goalpost. Just that piece where a goalkeeper cannot reach. Paul Pogba always has his bag of tricks full, so tell us why he jogged so much, ignoring boos from the crowd and holding his nerve to score when he was playing for Manchester United. Such an unreal skill. Finally, many top penalties have been taken in football, and we cannot mention them all. But we will try. We will keep updating this page and giving you top-notch content you cannot say no to. To avoid missing a thing, subscribe and turn on your notifications, and be sure you are now logged on to the channel with everything exciting you need to watch about the exhilarating game of football.